Hey everyone, welcome back. So I want to have a chat with you about the state of the world that we're living in at the moment. I'm not going into any political dialogue or anything. I'm really not going there. What I want to talk about is how it's affecting us as human beings. The uncertainty seems to be the thing that I'm hearing is affecting most people that I speak to. And uncertainty certainly is a feature of our human existence. I mean, there is absolutely nothing in life that is certain. Change is the one thing that we can be certain of, that and the fact that one day we're going to die. Those are the two things that we can rely on to be a definite in our lives. So at the moment, the chaos in the world, the uncertainty that's showing up, particularly with the conflict and all the changes. I mean, there's so many changes happening in the world, but there's an awful lot of chaos as well, which is attached to the uncertainty. So how does one cope with that? Well, for me, I can't impact any of those bigger issues, the global issues, if you like. Not directly, I can't physically affect them because I'm not a politician, I'm not an activist, I'm not knowledgeable about those areas. The one thing I can do is keep my own vibration as steady as possible. And the way I do that is a Buddhist idea of living what they call the middle way. Now, the middle way means, if you think about a pendulum swings back and forth, back and forth. It's polarity. And at one end of the pendulum, you've got, let's use an obvious example like good. And at the opposite end of the pendulum swing, you've got bad. I don't actually believe in those two words, but I'll just use them for ease of explanation. So the idea is that instead of allowing that energetic pendulum swing to affect me to the point that I'm pulled all the way into the dark or the bad, the non-beneficial end of the swing, but also not swinging the other way, that I become maybe hyper excited about, oh my goodness, life is so wonderful. Because that pendulum keeps swinging. It's inevitable, it's going to swing back and forth. But the idea is to try and keep it more central, more balanced, in the middle. It's impossible to stay there 100% of the time. But the idea is to be as aware as possible that my energy, something may be happening around me, is pulling on my energy and pulling me in a direction one way or another. But no matter which way, which side of that pendulum I swing, I have to keep reminding myself to come back closer to the center where I'm in balance, I'm in harmony, where I can manage my life with ease. My life then flows with ease. It's effortless. Because, everything passes. Nothing stays static. Change, as I said, is the one constant we can definitely rely on. So I have to keep reminding myself when I'm in a situation, whether it's good or whether it's not so good, I have to remind myself constantly, this too shall pass. So if the situation is an uncomfortable one, I've just got to ride it out. I've got to fall back on my spiritual principles, use the tools that I've learned to bring myself back into balance. But if I go the other way and life is like, woohoo, I've also got to remind myself, this too shall pass. So don't think because I'm up there, that side of the pendulum swing, that life is going to be hunky-dory and that's where it's always going to be. Doesn't work like that. So it's constantly being aware that I need to try do whatever I can, be as aware as possible, to try and stay there in the middle area, somewhere in that gentler swing, so that life doesn't become chaotic. I don't know if you remember when you were a child, if you were on one of those ropes that they used to hang in the trees, and we would swing out over a river or something and then fall off it. That it could feel exhilarating up to a point, but there was then a point where it actually became a bit scary. So the idea that I'm talking about is don't swing out over the river. Okay, so I hope that's helpful to you, and I will chat to you again soon. Okie dokie. Take care, everybody. Blessings and love. Blessings and love.